Today's content is actually inspired by Dave Ramsey and Caleb Hammer. I find this is the most logical and safe way for majority of us to build wealth. So here it is, the 7 Malaysian baby steps. First step is to save 1 month of expenses as emergency funds. Now I know 1 month of expenses is not enough, but this is the way to get us started and motivated. It is actually easy to achieve this step. All you got to do is start tracking and calculating your monthly expenses with a budget. I myself use the Wallet by Budget Bakers app to keep track of all my expenses. At the end of the month, I then categorize them to the 50-30-20% rule so I can look back on how much I am saving. If you are wondering about what is this rule, do check out the description below as I have previously done a video about it. Next, the second step is to pay off all high interest debts. The motive to clear debts is because when we take on more debts, it is actually equals to taking on more risk. And without proper discipline, you might fall into the debt trap where you accumulate high interest rates balances that will slow down your wealth progression or even make you go broke and declare bankruptcy. So to be safe, just avoid debt or make sure you do not carry a balance over your debt where they charge you interest rates. As for credit cards, it may actually be a good tool if you are a credit card person. So how do you determine if you are a credit card person? Make sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out on this channel as I will go through with you on how to determine if you are a credit card person. Third step is to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now, a proper pool of emergency funds is actually 3 to 6 months of expenses. Why, you may ask? So this is so that we can live off no income for that period. That is 3 to 6 months when an emergency happens. For example, unexpected layoffs, your car breakdown, and you need to send it to go fix. All these are emergency funds, and a 3 to 6 months of emergency funds pool will cover these unexpected situations. Of course, if you have a business or a baby, it will be better to keep it higher at around 12 months of expenses. I personally would park it in money market funds such as Versa, which they have an annual rate of 4%. Invest 15 to 20% of your take-home pay is the next step. Now, investing 15 to 20% of your take-home pay not only teaches us to be disciplined, but it also will allow us to build wealth very fast for our retirements. I would take this money to invest into low-risk index funds or the ETF that have proven historical returns that generates anywhere between 6 to 10% of returns. Compound it by 30 years till you retire, then look at the graph here. If you do not withdraw your retirement accounts, most of us will be a millionaire if you are earning an average salary in Malaysia by age 30. Then, when you retire at age 60, all you need to do is pull out 6% every year for your monthly expenses and live on it. And the remaining money could just sit on your EPF or investments account, accumulating interest while also acting as an emergency medical fund. So this is really cool as we can fall back into these funds whenever an emergency medical health issue arises. So we won't put burden to our children. Step 5 is to work to pay off all debts. When you are consistently investing, it is time to clear off all debts, including the low interest ones. As I mentioned previously, no debts equals to no risk. Although you might be able to generate a tiny more with leverage from your low interest loans, but it is not worth it if you have other more important things happening in your life. Ultimately, this is to give us a peace of mind and remove all noise while we redefine our purpose in life. Oftentimes, we don't put risk into our calculation for the returns. So most of the time, it is actually not really worth it to take on more risk for that tiny more percentage. Step 6 is to build your child college funds, travel funds, or max out your EPF annually. Any big funds, expenses that is for the purpose of our lives. At this point, once we are out of debt, we can live life with more intention and creating a bigger purpose in life. Make a list and set a big goal. That could be a travel fund, your child college fund, or even maxing out the EPF contributions. Once we have that goal, our then savings could go to these purposes, giving our life more colors. Last but not least, build wealth and give. At this stage, it is not about the money anymore. We only need a certain amount of wealth, and the rest is only a good to have. Imagine feeding a hungry family on the streets by bringing them into a restaurant, or giving a big tips to a hardworking individual in a cafe, or maybe even supporting a good cause. How would that make you feel? Honestly, having money is great, but we only need so much and we want more. But for what purpose? Think about it. And once we achieve the right purposes and values in our life, it might be time to bless others with what we have. In summary, steps 1, 2, 3, we are to do it with intensity and in order. This is to ensure we have a safety net of 3 to 6 months of emergency funds and to make our life stable. Steps 4, 5, 6, 7, we can do it slowly or all together at the same time with intentionality. With that, this concludes today's video. I hope you like it and do comment down below if you have any questions. Don't forget to check out the financial rescue form if you have any concerns you would like me to answer. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.